chance to smell the coffee with Diana Master and Aina Riza Quayo on this beautiful Tuesday morning. We couldn't be more excited to be bringing you today's episode because we do have some interesting stories. But then again, when have we never had interesting stories on Smell the Coffee? How are you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing great. That's a very interesting question. I think that, every morning we try to bring the best of entertainment, be it with bazaar news, be it with actual entertainment news, be it with our personalities. I think that, need I say so myself, we are killing it.
We are, shame. I know, we're the girls that we think we are. Oh my goodness. If people don't tell you, if people are not going to hype you up, hype yourself up.
You know what I've been told? Apparently, if you say you're humble, then you're not humble.
True.
People must tell you
you're so humble.
Yeah. So
one thing about me,
tell you that you are really so good.
One thing about me, I'm
yourself.
not humble. Humility for who? For why? When I know I am the girl that I think I am. Matter of fact, I may be even better than the girl that I think I am.
You are who you say you are.
I am better than who I say I am. And that's on I put that on my mama. And that's on period. But today we are going to be talking about the new local movie that just premiered, and that is Lucas. But before we get into that, we'll get into our top stories right after this break. So we start off, have you ever heard the expression, if you don't ask, the answer will always be no?
Yep.
There's that. And then even the Bible says, ask and it shall be given unto you. Ask and you shall receive. Well, there's a lady who's getting random men to buy her 4,000 Chanel bags and private trips to Miami by private jet just by asking.
Love.
So her love language, kind of like mine, is dollar signs. Carolina Gates, who made headlines last year for strutting around Soho with a sign that read, looking for a husband, excuse me, looking for a husband, still hasn't found her Mr. Right, but it doesn't hurt that she's gotten random men to gift her designer goods and luxury experiences during her hubby hunt. On March 1st, the 29-year-old model and beauty influencer was whisked away in a stranger's private jet to the Sunshine State after she toted around a cardboard sign with the brazen request, fly me to Miami, outside of Teterboro Airport in New Jersey, according to a jaw-dropping video she posted on social media. That was a crazy idea. I knew I could go to the commercial airport and ask someone there to purchase me a plane ticket, but I thought the private jet would be more exciting, a giggly Gates who lives in Soho told the Post from Miami this week. Gates, who declined to provide the high flyer's name for privacy reasons, called him such a nice guy who she plans to stay in touch with, albeit just as friends, she said. Now, shortly after touching down in Miami, the brunette bombshell, who boasts more than 1.5 million followers on TikTok and Instagram, made her way to the pool at a $500 per night hotel in South Beach, where she ensnared her next unsuspecting benefactor. May I ask you a question, please? Can you rent a room for me in this hotel? I love this hotel. Gates gushes in the March 3 video posted to TikTok and Instagram. After confirming that Gates isn't joking, the man replies between laughs, I've never done this before, but you're so beautiful, so why not? The nearly 1.5-minute long clip, which has been seen over 1.5 million times, shows the hunk handing his card over to the hotel receptionist, then giving Gates a room key, but it was apparently no great feat as he only booked the room for 2 nights, Gates lamented. The South Asia's native's other social media videos show her being bewilderingly successful in getting random strangers off the street to buy her a $1,000 Tiffany & Co. necklace and a $4,000 Chanel bag on the spot. My point of doing these videos is first to find a boyfriend, a husband, and sure, and the second thing is to say to women, like, we are women, we can ask for things, the man must take care of the woman, Gates explained.
I need to get tips on how to go on a hubby hunt from this lady.
Literally walk around with a sign.
Like what?
Literally walk around with a sign.
No, I don't have that confidence. I would be embarrassed.
Not in Namibia. In Namibia, it doesn't work. In Namibia, it doesn't work. I don't think it works. They will straight up ask you, what's in it for me? And you're like, how?
Nah.
Doesn't work.
No, it will not.
It will not work here.
But good for her.
Like, it just shows, again, if you want something, just ask for it.
It's true. The worst thing somebody can say when you do ask for something is no. But you already know there are most probably going to say no. So,
which makes it even better when they say yes. You're like, wait, I wasn't
Really?
expecting this to work. Wait.
yeah.
Honestly speaking, I've seen these videos, Instagram, TikTok, where they literally put up like little flyers all over town with a QR code, and then it says, looking for a husband, looking for a millionaire husband. If you are that one, please text me.
Wow.
Yeah, and people like men, and they should like hide out in the corner, and they should just see men like
Texting.
QR coding.
Wow.
I'm like, you know what? Maybe we're doing this
Are
all
these
wrong.
men with a million or just random men?
I
maybe?
probably think they're the random men.
Yeah.
I don't think. 'Cause
Men with a million.
I will go to Avadi and just put up posters that says looking for a millionaire husband. Go to
Yeah.
Avadi Country Club.
Yeah, there will be those that are trying their luck.
You know?
And then those that are actual millionaires.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait. I wasn't expecting this. But who knows, Chami? Maybe we're going about this all wrong.
I think so. I think as today we should write our placards, our posters, and then we say, let's start by this slogan, give us money, we are beautiful.
We're beautiful.
Yeah, give us, that's the reason. Just
That's the reason.
Yeah.
Give us money, we're beautiful. That's it.
And then we see how far we go.
We can take it there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
the
then
plan.
if we do get some money, then we can.
And then we start
Happy
going
hand.
to the airport, and then we just chill at the airport, and then we say, please fly us out. We're pretty.
Wow.
It's bound to work, man.
All right, moving over to our next story. Have you ever been so addicted to something and then all of a sudden it changes, just like without any...
Like because you lose an interest for it, or what?
No, because the people who produce it change it abruptly without your consent.
Sometimes they even pull it off the shelf.
Imagine. Now, in our next story, Costa Coffee has come under fire from customers after reportedly cutting down the number of sausages in their popular breakfast roll, but the price remains the same. Across retail and hospitality, customers have been left furious after being charged the same amount of money for products that have been cut short of their regular amount, with more and more items falling victims to shrinkflation. Regulars at high street giant Costa have been left furious after bosses removed a sausage.
One.
From the not 3 Namibian dollars, 3 pounds pork sausage breakfast pub, while failing to reduce the price. The original breakfast item included 4 sausages, but now customers only get 3. Last week, one individual took to X to complain and to ask X about the sandwich, and they are not alone in their frustration. They wrote, "Hello, at Costa Coffee, why does your sausage pub now only have 3 sausages rather than 4? Another said, I'm sure they've cut down from 4 to 3. Price hasn't changed. Another added, it does not cut up into quarters as well. But Costa confirmed they have a good reason. This is what the spokesperson of Costa said. When they were responding, they said they removed 1 sausage as the 4th one allegedly kept rolling out of the sandwich. Imagine.
I kind of see it though, because like already with the 3 sausages, it kind of looks packed, but also that looks very dry. That does not look like it's going to be nice. That doesn't look like it tastes nice.
It would have been
on, like
more appetizing had there been 4 sausages.
bring back the 4th sausage.
Bring back the 4th sausage.
But I mean, even
no, it's ridiculous. No, but I also understand why they would keep the price the same.
Yeah.
Because the bread hasn't changed.
the bread hasn't changed.
It's just
And
the
honestly
fillings that
speaking-
changed.
And honestly speaking, if we look at it, the cost of living has gone up,
Yeah.
right? Like probably their supplier or whatever is charging more. So they're like, listen, because think about it this way. You used to buy bread for like 8 Namibian dollars. Now you buy bread for like what, 14 Namibian dollars. Things like that. Even if I was charging you $3 for like half a sandwich, And then now I'm giving you only that first part, like the top part of the half sandwich, and I'm still charging you $3. You just must understand.
No, the fans are you can't just change.
But it looks like there really is no space for a fourth sausage there.
Yeah, they
Like-
are saying it kept rolling. And
it-
people
yeah.
and customers were the ones that actually complain
About it constantly rolling out.
apparently Costa, according to the spokesperson, when you further read the story, she says that they've implemented the feedback that
from the customers.
that they've gotten.
Yeah, you
But
can't
now
please
it's these
everyone in this
same
world.
customers that are
You
complaining.
can't
Yeah,
please
you can't
everyone
please
in this
anyone.
world. But anyway, that does bring us to the end of our top stories. Now, after the break, we are talking Lucas, a movie about street kids. It is a locally produced Namibian film starring only Namibian actors with a fully Namibian crew. So let's get right into it. Today we are talking about the Namibian film that is taking Namibia and South Africa by storm. If you don't know what I'm talking about, have you been living under a rock? We are, of course, talking Lucas, and I am so thrilled to have with me the director, Philippe Talavera. How are you doing?
Good, thank you. And you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's an honor to
Pleasure.
interview you.
Pleasure.
All right, so of course we start off being the first 100% Namibian production to screen in both Namibia and South African Ster-Kinekor theatres. How do you feel about the film's reception in these markets, and what challenges did you face in bringing a Namibian story to a broader audience?
Well, to be honest, when we did Lucas, we didn't plan to do it for South Africa. We
Okay.
planned to do it for Namibia. And we had a premiere in February at Ster-Kinekor in Namibia. And what happened actually is that Ster-Kinekor Namibia, you know, it's owned by South Africa, right? But the manager here in Windhoek looked at Lucas and said, "That's really good. Can I show it to my colleagues in South Africa?" I said, "Of course, you can show it to your colleagues in South Africa, you know." And then they sent the film to South Africa. And then they contacted me and they said, "We think it could work in South Africa as well. Are you interested in showing it in South Africa?" So I said, "Of course." I mean, you know, what is that question? So I'm very humbled, actually,
Yes.
by the fact that it will also be screening in South Africa, particularly because normally we get South African movies in Namibia, but Namibian movies never get into
South
South
Africa,
Africa.
exactly.
So to know that starting today it's showing not only in Ster-Kinekor Namibia, but also in Ster-Kinekor South Africa, it's quite impressive. I don't know how South African will receive the movie,
Yes.
but I think it's relevant. I mean, we have a lot of street kids in Windhoek, they have a lot of street kids in
South
Joburg and
Africa,
Cape Town.
exactly, yes.
So I think the issue is very similar in many ways, and I hope it can trigger some discussion in South Africa as well. I'm very curious to see what the response, be it on social media or wherever, will be. Yeah, so it has been a little bit by accident that it is in South Africa. It was not meant for the South African market, let's put it that way. And I think that's the right thing to do. We should not make movie for the South African market. We should make
Yes.
movie for the Namibian market.
Yes, true.
But I think if on top of being for the Namibian market, they can go into South Africa, it's a win-win.
It's a win-win, definitely. I'm getting goosebumps as you're speaking because, like you're saying, you never predicted, you never imagined that it would go to South Africa, but still, it will prompt a lot of discussion and conversation in South Africa. So what motivated you to tell this particular story, and how do you think it contributes to the broader cinematic landscape, especially in the context of Namibia's film industry?
So first part of the question, why did I do this movie? I think it came from personal experience of, like many people, seeing more and more street kids in Windhoek. And you know the kids come on your window and knock at the door and ask for $1.
Yes.
And you don't always know what to do. Sometimes you react and you give $1 and then you think, was it a good thing to give $1? Sometimes you give some food. Sometimes you get annoyed and you don't give anything. And then I thought, I don't know how to react, and many people don't know how to react, but I also don't know about the street kids. So I thought I want to learn more. That was the initial thought. I want to learn more about their lives, and I want to see how could I contribute more meaningfully about their situation. And then it became to try to give them a voice, so to listen to their story and to give them a voice, because nobody really listened to them. So that was the first part of the concept, was to give a voice to the street kids and to get the broader public, to understand that it is a complex issue.
Yes.
They are not in the street necessarily by choice, and the life in the street is definitely not an easy life. So is to educate, I guess, the broader public about the complexity of the issue, and to make people realize that we need to have more integrated and more concerted answers in order to tackle this issue. In terms of what can it contribute to the cinematic landscape of Namibia, I'm not sure. It's an interesting movie because it's the biggest cast, I think, of a Namibian movie. We had 50 actors on the call sheet in total. So that was quite an experience, I think, for Namibia to have so many actors involved in a movie. Just in terms of logistic, and I know you will interview Oscar later, but he did as well the first assistant director, so you can ask him how was it to coordinate 50 people. That was interesting. And then it's also, in terms of editing, an interesting movie because we take Lucas at 3 ages, when he's 11-year-old, when he's 16-year-old, and when he's a young adult. And the stories constantly intertwine. And my idea was to show that the past constantly influences your present. Even if you don't remember something that has happened to you years later, actually it does have an impact right now. So instead of telling a linear story, we tell a story that is constantly going from the past to the present, to the past to the present.
But you can see the ties.
You can see the ties, and you can see, oh, that makes sense, because that happened now. That makes sense that it happens then, and
so
that makes sense.
So basically it makes the audience think, and it keeps the audience engaged because they're paying attention.
Exactly.
So when you say you're telling the story of a street kid, what was the research process like? Did you go out and interview these street kids, and what was that process like?
Exactly. That's how we started. We started by interviewing street kids. So we interviewed 21 people in total. 21 young people who were living in the street at the time of the interview or had been living in the street recently. Including young people who were in correctional facilities because they were juvenile, because of their life in the streets. So we had 21 interviews. We had about 21 hours of interviews. Some interviews were a bit longer than 1 hour, some a bit shorter, but all in all, we had about 21 hours of interviews. And then we gave those 21 hours of interview to Mikeros Garwes, who wrote the script.
Amazing director, amazing writer.
She's the best person to work with, and basically say, look, I got a gift for you. I got 21 hours of interview to listen to, and now out of this 21 hours, do something. So that was basically the process, and then it was a lot of back and forth about what do we keep from those interviews, and a lot of the things that happened to Lucas have happened to one or the other of the kids. So we didn't select one of the interviews. So we didn't select. Lucas is not a real life story in the sense that it is not one street kid that we took his stories
based the story off
on,
yes.
But we took a little bit from this one, a little bit from that one, a little bit from that one, and we created Lucas that way.
I see. That is definitely interesting. All right, so given the film selection in international festivals like Nigeria's Coal City Film Festival and the USA's Black Film Summit, how do you think the universal themes of the movie resonate with audiences beyond Namibia, and what message do you hope viewers take away from Lucas?
Yeah, and there is one more we learned today. There is another festival in Nigeria that has also picked Lucas, the Echo International Film Festival. So it will be twice in Nigeria, actually.
Congratulations!
Which is really nice. But I think, particularly in the African context, again, whether it is South Africa, Namibia, Nigeria, or other countries, there's a lot of problem with street children.
Yes.
And I think even if the circumstances are slightly different, because of course Nigeria is different from Namibia, the overall overarching problem is similar. Reason why kids end up in the street, problems they face when in the street, particularly with the issue of alcohol and drug abuse, are quite similar. So I think it will resonate in the different countries. Hopefully it will trigger some discussion.
Yes.
We made, and that was a choice with the writer, we made Lucas a lovable person because we want people to like that street kids.
Yes.
And I know that not all the street kids may be likable. There is an antagonist, Samora. You don't like Samora, okay? But you do like Lucas.
Yes.
And we made this character likable on purpose because we want people to think actually not all street kids are bad. Not all street kids are a nuisance. Some kids should never have been in the street. I think that's the thing. Lucas should never have been in the street. And we want them to like Lucas. And I think they will like Lucas in Nigeria. They will also like Lucas in the US. They also have a problem with street children in the US. Their circumstances is probably very different.
Yes.
So I don't know how they will react in that sense to the movie. But the idea is to have this broader discussion about why do we have children working and living in the streets.
Exactly.
It does not make any sense. As a society, we fail. Somewhere, somehow, something went wrong. Whether it is at family level, because the immediate family or extended family has not been able to look after this child, or whether it is at government level, because social workers, teachers, all the people that are supposed to help the children are not doing their job properly, we fail.
Yes.
So if we want to become better societies, what can we do?
Exactly. All right, now before I let you go, as briefly as you can, how long was the production process?
Well, it was long in the sense that the research took a couple of months, and then the writing of the script took another couple of months, and then the audition of 50 characters took a lot of time. So that was, actually the pre-production was long. The pre-production, I think, was about 6 months. The actual shooting was only 15 days. So the actual shooting was like military style and quite a horrible, intensive, stressful process.
I can imagine.
And definitely not the easiest shoot I've ever worked on. Also because it was in the coldest month of last year, coldest days, not months, but coldest days of last year. So the shooting was only 15 days. And then the post-production took about another 6 months. Also because we had brand new music written by Ponti Dikua and Jericho. And they did a brilliant job, I think, at portraying the life feeling. And we really wanted to have this music that resonates with street life. So we took time for the post-production. So let's say that the pre-production and the post-production
were the
longest. The actual shooting was intense.
Only 15 days. But
Only
it makes sense that you put so much effort into researching the story so that you actually tell an authentic story and you're not just pulling things from the top of your head. This is actually research, months of research that went into it. And even the post-production process, the fact that it took so long is just testament to why you should go watch this movie, because a lot of hard work and effort went into this.
Exactly, and it will be at Ster-Kinekor for at least 1 week. If it's a successful week, it might be extended, but we don't know. So please do go to the movie this week, because you don't know if it will be for 2 weeks. We know only for sure that it will be in the movie for 1 week.
Okay.
So it's from the 8th to the 14th of March. It's running like a normal movie, so there is different time slot. So you can choose a time slot that fits you best.
Okay.
But please, I know there's big movie like Dune or One Love, but don't all go and watch the Hollywood movie. Also come and watch the local movie.
Yes, let's definitely support local. And, the fact that you created this wonderful, amazing piece of art to tell an authentic Namibian story is just beautiful. and my hat goes off to you. Thank you so much, Philippe, for this wonderful, insightful interview. I look forward to going to watch the movie, and we will be looking forward to hearing what your thoughts and how you react to the movie on all our social media platforms. But for now, don't go anywhere. More Smell the Coffee coming up right now. Well, like I said, I don't think this is something that you would want to miss. Aina and myself will be taking a trip later on this week to Ster-Kinekor to catch Lucas live and in color. But that is it for today's episode of Smell the Coffee from Diana Master and Aina Razaqueo. We do wish you have yourselves a lovely Tuesday ahead.